Welcome back, everyone, to a cheating cheater, Cobra Kai Season 6 Watch Party! The test for the Sekai Taikai was fierce and confusing. Was Mike Barnes really finding the best students? That is an open debate. Plus, Devon got in with a timely sabotage. Dumping Muscle's laxatives into Kenny's water? This has earned her the rank of cheater, at least in the view of the fans. Many believe Kenny should be there instead of her.
What? This is outrageous. It's unfair.
But then, I'm pretty good at research, and I can't find one rule Devon broke or how she cheated in any way.
Wait, what?
Okay, so Kenny was downing his water, which Devon loaded with the laxatives. He had to go and abandoned the race. Personally, it seems it would have made more sense if he grabbed the flag, because he had to be close, and then ran back to the toilet, but whatever, it's a show. We need drama. He was having a pooping emergency and couldn't grab the flag. Later on, we see Devon throw away the laxatives with a worried look of being found out. It is clear she is the one behind that sabotage. So that's it, right? Cheater. She shouldn't be there in Barcelona. It should be Kenny. It's no different than when Terry Silver bribed the referee multiple times. Cheaters never prosper. But she didn't cheat. Mike Barnes is running this contest. He laid out the rules very clearly.
2 flags, waist deep in the forest. Whoever brings them back wins.
Okay, that is straightforward. By the way, he didn't say anything anywhere about what that means or how to bring the flags back. I mean, I find it kind of funny. Presumably, one could have hopped on one of those electric mountain bikes or whatnot. Though admittedly, no one knew what the contest was going to be or that there was even going to be a contest, so they didn't come prepared. But still, they asked questions.
Wait, that's it? What if 2 of us find a flag at the same time?
You fight for it.
So obviously, this is a karate contest. Fighting is going to be involved. On that note, I'm surprised there wasn't a little more fighting on the run over. It seems like it'd be way easier to take someone out on the way there, or even better, on the way back when they have the flag. Except that didn't happen. It's what I would have done anyway. Finally, Daniel asked a very Daniel question.
Are there refs out there?
No, they're on their own.
Okay, think about that for a second first. What referees does Daniel imagine are out there? Like Mike Barnes hired a bunch of refs to be standing out there in the woods by the flags ready to call points in a fight? Use your common sense, Daniel. Obviously, there are no referees. Anyway, Barnes made it clear.
Winning is everything. Plain and simple.
That was it. There was no further explanation of the rules. In fact, the rule specifically is winning is everything. So, like I said, theoretically, an electric mountain bike was allowed. And theoretically, there is no rule about preemptively sabotaging your opponent. To be clear, Devon was distraught. She knew Kenny was super fast. Kenny the Jet was his username. She knew Hawk could easily beat her in a fight. He is the Hawk after all. She was in trouble. The only chance she had was to think outside of the box. Johnny gave her that motivation. It has to be then that she planted the laxatives. We see Kenny drinking from his water bottle before the race starts. That is some fast-acting laxatives, but we'll ignore all that at the moment. Either way, she's looking right at him. She knows what she did. It was her only shot at winning. And as I covered, no one, especially Mike Barnes, said the contest was limited to running and karate. Now, you can point out there is ambiguity. This is especially true when we compare it to the previous Coyote Creek training. Here, when asked what to do if 2 people find the flag, Mike Barnes said,
You fight for it.
Back in the previous example, look at what Kreese said.
How do we get the headbands?
By any means possible. No rules.
Well, Kreese's instruction is clear. There are no rules. Do whatever it takes to win. Barnes, well, he just didn't clarify. For example, he could have said, This is a karate test. You only get the flag via karate means. That would mean no mountain bike. That would also mean no laxative sabotage. As it is, failure to clarify these points means Devon didn't technically break any rule. So it's fair to say she is not a cheater. she's the fair winner. At most, she took advantage of the unclear rule set, but that is not cheating. I pointed out that at the Sekai Taikai, she doesn't appear to have any regrets. She's taking it in, loving the place. This is the world tournament, the Sekai Taikai. She's gonna live it up. She may have gotten there by non-traditional means, but she got there. That's what matters. Now, even though we established that Devon didn't cheat, that doesn't mean Kenny is going to be forgiving. He thinks Anthony is the one who planted the laxatives. Now, this will definitely play out in part 2. Kenny is upset and skipped the final dojo meeting, but that doesn't mean he's out and gone. He will confront Anthony. Now, Anthony will say he had nothing to do with it, and obviously, Kenny won't believe him. There's way too much bad blood between these two. Even if they were improving somewhat, it's not enough for this type of trust. However, you remember Anthony is good at figuring things out. He was the one who uncoded Chosen's lesson about the eggs. And as it turns out, Anthony has the information he needs. Mitch told him all about the laxatives, so he knows where they're from. Plus, when they were training that night, Devon was right there as well and certainly overheard that conversation. It's not a wide stretch for Anthony to realize Devon knew about the laxatives as well. Also, as Devon was the smallest and not the fastest, she needed the biggest boost to be able to make the team. I think Anthony figures this all out and tells it to Kenny. While at first mistrustful, it will make sense in retrospect. Devon is the one who had the most gain by sabotaging him. I think eventually Kenny will come around and realize the truth. This could set up quite a conflict. He feels that Devon cheated, except Devon has already decided it's within the rules, if perhaps unconventional. Now, will this truth emerging set up further strife and conflict between Johnny and Daniel? Daniel feels like the rules were broken. Johnny, with his Cobra Kai past, who is personally rooting for Devon, thinks she won fairly. Barnes is the one who made the decision, not them. This was even set up.
But
Can't get any more objective. Even Barnes isn't judging this one.
Well, you see, obviously the last thing the fans want to see is more bickering between Johnny and Daniel, so hopefully this part of it doesn't come to pass. There are some indications Kenny may show up at the tournament anyway. The whole concept of 6 fighters is a little strange because what if someone gets sick or injured? Don't you need to have a backup? Kenny could be the backup fighter for Miyagi-Do. Now, we won't go into details as this isn't a spoiler video, but there's a lot of potential in that. The biggest obstacle if Kenny does show up is the needed teamwork. Will Devon admit the truth? Presumably, if Kenny figures it out with Anthony, she's gonna have no choice. He may not accept her finesse that it was technically within the rules. Does she apologize? That is an interesting question. If she doesn't think she broke the rules, then maybe apologizing isn't in order. She could say she is sorry he shit himself in front of everyone. I mean, that part of it was never planned or intended. It was just an unfortunate accident via Bert being in the shitter. Will Kenny accept that? He was Cobra Kai and a strong believer in Terry Silver. While he doesn't put stock in Silver anymore, maybe he can at least understand Devon's situation. She wanted to win, and now she wants to win the Sekai Taikai along with him. Maybe they can work together that way. Moving forward is always the better option. There's a lot more ahead. Be sure you're subscribed because I'm going to cover it all. Have a great day. I'll see you at the next watch party.